So just about a year ago, I drove the 2019 Infiniti QX50. That was the Luxe grade. And then about a month ago, I drove the Q50 Sedan Edition 30. And now we're back with Infiniti's SUV, the QX50, but this is the Edition 30. Let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about what's new for the 2020. For 2020, there are two new grades at the top end. You have the sensory and the autograph grades. Infiniti also took a lot of the safety and security systems that you could only get in some of the top grades and moved them into the entire lineup. So I'm talking a lot about the grade levels. Those are the trim levels that you get in the Infiniti vehicles. This vehicle comes with 5 grade levels. All of those grades are available with the front wheel drive or all-wheel drive options, and all come with the same engine, which we'll get into in just a sec. But those grade levels include the Pure, the Luxe, the Essential, which is what we're driving here, the Sensory, and the Autograph. So this is the Essential grade, but it's also the Edition 30. Edition 30 is Infiniti celebrating 30 years as a brand. All right, and with this being an Edition 30, you do get special badges and special exterior design elements to really enhance this and bring that celebratory factor to this vehicle. You get unique dark chrome details featuring signature Infiniti elements. So you get that signature Infiniti grille with that unique dark chrome surround and that unique dark chrome Infiniti badge. Up front, you get the automatic on-off LED headlights with signature daytime running lights. And this vehicle here has the optional cube design headlights that look really cool. Up here in the front fascia, you also get integrated LED fog lights. And I'm really happy that they made them LED. They really look nice when they're on, and it doesn't contrast poorly with the LED headlights. Moving along to the side, you do get body colored door handles with chrome accents. You get aluminum roof rails. You get these gloss black side mirrors with the integrated turn signal and that chrome strip that goes all the way around the cabin. These wheels are the special dark finish wheels that you get with the Edition 30. They are 20-inch wheels where the base car would get 19-inch wheels. Moving around to the back, you get those LED taillights and a center high mounted stoplight. You get an integrated rear spoiler and dual exhaust with polished finishers. And of course, back here on the hatch, you get all your badging. You get your QX50 badge, your all-wheel drive badge, and that all-important Edition 30 badge. All right, and while we're at the rear of the car, let's talk about that rear hatch. Now, it is a power opening lift gate. You have a button here. You also have a button on the remote. It doesn't have the kick functions that some of the other manufacturers have, but it's easy enough to get in and out of. And once you have it open, you can see that you have a ton of space back here. With the back seats up, you have 31.1 cubic feet of cargo space. Of course, those are 60/40 split rear seats. You can fold them down and get 64.4 cubic feet total cargo space. And of course, to fold those seats down, you have a small lever here, pops that down. They do fold flat, they don't tumble. So that's one side. And the other. That is a bunch of space. During my time with this vehicle, we did go to IKEA and we packed this thing full of stuff, including a pretty large desk where we had to fold down the 40 split seat. We had 2 kids in the 60, the middle and the side, and then me and my wife, and had to drive home like that. It might have been a little bit uncomfortable for the kids, but we made it, and we were able to fit quite a bit of stuff in the back here. And again, to lower the hatch, you just have a button right here, and that'll completely close. Now that we've checked that out, let's check out what's under the hood. All right, so let's really talk about this engine. This is a 2-liter variable compression turbocharged engine. It's a new technology from Infiniti and Nissan. They've been putting it in a lot of their cars here recently, including this one. So what does variable compression actually mean? Well, it adjusts the compression ratio to optimize the power and efficiency of the engine. It combines the power of a high output 2-liter turbocharged gas engine with the torque and efficiency of a 4-cylinder diesel engine. All in all, this thing pushes out 268 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque, and is matched up to a continually variable transmission, or a CVT. And of course, in my opinion, that CVT is what hampers this car the most when it comes to driving feel. But of course, we'll talk more about that when we get behind the wheel. And with that, let's jump inside, starting with the rear seats. All right, and as far as the rear seats go, these are pretty nice. They are still leather seats, comfortable. I got plenty of knee room here, plenty of headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof. All in all, you get 38.7 inches of leg room. These seats can go back or forward. We've got them all the way back, obviously, and we do have a lot of room there. Back here, you also do get an accessory port and a USB plug. You also get your own vents, but you don't get any controls back here to control those vents. We also have an armrest with some cup holders and a little tray here for a phone or a tablet. But like I said, it's a comfortable back seat. Plenty of room for the kids, plenty of room if you're carrying adults back here. Not bad at all, but let's check out what really matters. Let's move into the front seats and check out the rest of the interior. All right, so let's talk interior on this QX50. Again, this is the Essential Edition, so it is kind of a mid-grade. It is the Edition 30, so we get a couple of extra little touches. Let's go through them right now. So the key word for the Edition 30 is graphite. You get a lot of what Infiniti calls graphite touches. The headliner is a graphite headliner. The seats are graphite, and throughout the cabin you get graphite touches. And these are leather heated seats, very comfortable to sit in. They're also 8-way power adjustable with a 2-way power adjustable lumbar. We do get aluminum accent trimming throughout the cabin. And here on the door and the dash, you get this nice little dotted pattern throughout the trim. Everything has white contrast stitching, which really stands out and gives it a premium feel. The push button start is also aluminum and illuminates. You do get a dual climate control in this vehicle. It's not triple, so you don't get specific climate for the rear seats, but you do get dual, which is nice to have. And we also get this panoramic sunroof. In this Essential grade, we have a 6-speaker audio system. This does not have the Bose premium audio system that you get in the higher grades, but you do get 4 USB ports, 1 USB-C, another USB port up front, a USB port here in the console, and another USB port that we already checked out in the rear seats. Tech-wise, we get Infiniti's new generation of InTouch system. This has dual HD displays. The top one is an 8-inch display and the lower one is a 7-inch display. Both screens are touchscreen. You do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get Siri and Google Voice integrations. And like I already mentioned, you get a lot of the safety features standard in these vehicles now instead of having to upgrade to get them. So here's a look at these two displays. Again, an 8-inch at the top, a 7-inch at the bottom. Both of them are touchscreen displays, so you can touch and move here, and you can touch and change down here. So there is a lot that you can do with these displays, and I quite like this split screen setup here. The top one has a lot of your navigation. Your Apple CarPlay can be up here. The bottom one has your radio settings and different climate control things here. And obviously you got the physical buttons around the outside. I think that the one large panel display is pretty impressive, but having it split up into two different things, a little bit of different functionality in the two, is a pretty smart play. Of course, I always want more control out of these things and more features, but I do like the split screen setup. Now when it comes to interfacing with the top screen, you don't have to touch it. You can use this dial here. Obviously you zooming in and zooming out and changing menus and things like that. You can activate the round view monitor by pushing the button there. And all in all, again, I think it's a cool setup. This is a quick view of that around view monitor, which is something that I definitely like. You do get drive modes, you get a sport mode, a personal mode, a standard mode, and an eco mode, which we'll talk a little bit more as we drive. All right, so first thing to talk about as we're driving this vehicle is that drive mode selector. You do have an eco mode, a standard mode, a sport mode, and an individual mode that you can set up. I usually stay in that standard mode because you still get decent power there. It's nice to switch over to sport, get a little bit more exhaust, get a little bit more aggressive shifting. But again, you have that CVT transmission under the hood, and that's going to keep this thing from really feeling as aggressive as it could. As far as the eco mode goes, I don't really drive with that at all. To me, that eco mode is almost dangerous. The way that it inhibits the amount of throttle that you can give. If you're really trying to get through an intersection and you're on eco mode, this thing is going to hurt you. EPA numbers on this is 23 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway, and that's pretty good for this size of SUV and the amount of power that you get. All in all, during our full week, we've been averaging 22.1 miles to the gallon. You get those driver assistant features that become standard on all levels, including the lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear automatic braking, rear cross traffic alerts, and high beam assist. Let's see how this thing really puts the power to the ground. We're going to take a stop on a bit of a straight road. We got it in sport mode. We're going to do a quick 0 to 60 run. Ready, set, go. And there's 60. Not super quick. It does take a second for this thing to really spin up and go, but it sounds pretty good and it's decently quick. So it is pretty quick when you want it to be, and in sport mode it sounds really good. And when you get to the corners, this thing actually handles really well. The suspension is really nice. It keeps it relatively flat through corners. Your steering feel is superb. It feels really nice. Really feels much more like a large hatchback sedan rather than an SUV. And those brakes are really good, and the acceleration out of the turns, once you get those turbos spinning, really good. And when you're in sport mode, it holds those higher revs, which is really good for accelerating out of those turns. And then of course you can switch it back to standard mode and it all quietens back down and is just a great little family vehicle. And with that, let's pull over, talk about the price, what this really competes with, and then we'll wrap this video up. Let me take a quick break here to let you know that we got a lot of stuff going on at TXGARAGE.com. If you're not checking out stories over there, you should definitely go check them out, TXGARAGE.com. Let's get back to the review. All right, so let's talk really quickly about the price and what this competes with. The base price for a pure trim is $37,250. Our trim, the Essential, has a base price of $46,100. And if you built this thing to the top with the autograph grade, the top level trim, you could add up all the way to $64,785. So what does this compete with? This competes with things like the Lexus NX, the Acura RDX, the Audi Q5, the Mercedes GLC, the BMW X3 or X4. All really great premium SUVs in the same sort of size, same sort of price range, so that's really good competition. I think for me, one of the closest competitors to this is the Acura RDX. I really liked that SUV. I thought it had really great tech in it. It had a great engine that made it very performant, and all around I liked it a bit more than this Infiniti. That being said, I really do like this. I like the looks of it. It's got really good technology inside. You get a lot of great safety features standard with this car. The interior, I think it looks really good. And after a full week of driving it with the family, I really can't complain at all with this vehicle. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the Infiniti QX50, especially this edition 30. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.